Hello, I want to talk about how to make your eyes look larger. The benefit to this is if you have small eyes, obviously you can make them look more open and large. And also if you want to look a little brighter and lighter, this is a great trick as well. Generally speaking, the first thing I'm going to tell you is to stay away from heavy eyeliners. The first thing we're going to do, we're just going to do one eye, is go in with a primer. Now I have no other makeup on because some other makeup is definitely going to affect the look of your eye. And so I'm really wanting to show you how eye makeup specifically comes into play. And then I'll talk about how highlighting comes into play to make your eye also look bigger. Okay, so already this eye looks brighter because we have primed. Now you can prime with your highlight if you would like to. I just used a little pot primer. It makes creasing significantly less, so I do like that aspect. I go into my eyeshadow palette and I'm just gonna go into this really light powder, and I'm actually just gonna powder that in just so that it sets that primer in a nice light color. Now, the first thing we're gonna do to make this eye look bigger and brighter is our eyebrow, because getting some space here and lifting that into that space is gonna make a big difference. So the first thing you want is for the corner of your eye to be approximately where your eyebrow starts. The other thing, so I'm just drawing a couple of hairs in there with this little flick brush, and I really like this one. Contour would work also for that, but this is just a very fine tipped little marker type brush. And then get that line coming up so that this arch spot is fairly high. All right. Then I'm actually gonna go into my contour and pick up a little detailed brush. This is the hot line, and fill that in. Because I've got some gray hairs, and I'd like to call them blonde, but they're not, they're gray in there. So we're gonna get rid of those. I also want a little width to this outside portion. I don't have width, but I would like it, because if I can draw this out, that's gonna give me a little more lift. So I know it looks a little harsh, and honestly, I need to lighten my lashes soon. But immediately, that has lifted this whole eye up compared to this one where I don't have this drawn in yet and I don't have this lightened up, right? So makes a big difference. The next thing we wanna do is go into our shadow. I'm gonna use a fluffy brush like this, and I love this little thing that you can wipe off in between. I'm gonna go into a mid-tone. So for me, I'm gonna use this Leo. Bubba would be a good one. If you wanna be more warmer toned, you could do something, or pink, you could go into Mama. I think that's a lullaby actually, but you want like a mid-tone. Browns are great for this. I'm just gonna use that little bit warmer tone. It's one of my favorites. Now with my eye open, because I have a hooded lid, I'm gonna pick where my natural shadow is, and I'm gonna work that a little above that and out to this side. Okay, I'm leaving this light right here. And then I'm gonna take the smaller end of that brush and work it down here. But I'm not gonna go right up against, I'm actually gonna stay down just a smidge. So if you can see that, I'm light in this center section. And I can just go back in here with this and lighten it up. okay? What you're doing is creating a shadow a little bit higher up, so it's lifting the eye up. Now the important part to that is then that you keep this section quite bright. Now you can go back to using your little bit of primer to get it a little sticky here. This is exactly where I would tell you is a great time to use something that has a little shimmer if you like shimmer. I'm going to go into Sabrina that has a little bit of shimmer. And I'm going to work it into that lower lid, just with my finger. And into this inner corner. I'm not doing something harsh like a cut crease where I need this line to be perfect, because that's just really not an everyday eyeshadow look for most people. We're talking about something you can do in just a few steps here to make everything look lighter and brighter. So I'm taking my sheen and getting it in there. Now, the reason why that's making this eye look brighter is because that's light along there. Now, lashes have a lot to do with this. I'm gonna first go in though with a light, you can either do white, you can do a skin tone, and do my waterline not with black, but with something very light. That is an extension now of our eyeball, right? So you can get these white ones like this. Here's a white one. White does look a little brighter. I will tell you, eye drops, I have very red eyes because I was swimming in the pool. Eye drops are great for opening up your eye too. If the white of your eye is much whiter, it's gonna appear more open than if it has the red veining from being in chlorine. So if indeed you want to use liner, I would encourage shadow, but if you really want to use liner, I'm going to do this with, I use the Marc Jacob one. This one is a little hard because you can't really actually sharpen it. It just rolls up. Only do about 3/4 of the way on the top and about 1/3 of the way on the bottom, and not in the waterline, on the lash line. So we're down below that white. Now you can wing this out if you want to. That can lift the eye if you have a little more downturn. I'm trying to do a really simple basic every day, so I'm not going to wing that out. I am, of course, going to smudge that in with some eyeshadow though. I feel like it stays much better in place and you get a better result. I like to just use one of these. Okay. And if indeed, like me, you got that going down a little bit, touch that up. Because we need that to stay kind of nice out and bright. Okay, so pretty big difference here. Biggest key is going to be eyelashes and keeping this light, because the darker I get this, the deeper the whole eye is going to set in and it's going to make it appear smaller. So using mid to light toned colors, if you want to use any dark tone color at all, you're going to use it out here in this crease if you want to use a deeper tone. Use your blow dryer, heat up your curling wand or your eyelash curler, and then up to 30 seconds. And then definitely eyelashes are going to be key. You can do falsies if you want. That really does help open up the eye, but you got to be careful about any of the magnetic or glue-on ones, because if you get a real thick liner here, it is going to actually push your eye shut. So you want to be careful not to have a real thick liner. I have a whole video tutorial on how to get the most out of your mascara, and it definitely has to do with twisting and lifting. And then using horizontal to build some weight and lift, and then going in vertically to build out length. All right. Yes, I still mascara bottom lashes, but I'm real careful about not getting way up in my waterline, which I want to remain light. I want that to look as though it's from a distance part of my eyeball. You can see how I'm getting rounder and a little more open over here. I want to catch my ends instead. This one, Better Than Sex. People love this mascara. This is the waterproof version. I also, for the ease of brush usage, really like Bad Gal Bang, because it's a very small brush and it's easy to be detailed about where you want the material to go and keep it off where you don't want it to be. Okay, so you can see that eye looks much more open. Last key to this whole thing is indeed to highlight your makeup that you're going to put on your face. I'm going to go into my nice brightening color, and normally you would maybe just do this right here, right? And put it in. Well, I'm actually going to go all the way down and all the way across here, because the more I can lift that eye, mind you, I didn't do the rest of my face yet, right? It just creates some space here, gives my eye its own space, okay? And then I'm gonna use that exact same product, my highlight, mine's linen, and go underneath this brow for just that additional lift. I do not have a lot of eyelid. If you have a lot of eyelid, but you have a small eye, you have a little more room to work. I don't have a lot of room to work because mine is starting to get hooded, starting to come down on me, and I'm deep here. Hence why also keeping that very light for me really helps with that aspect. And right here in the middle of my nose, nice and light. Okay, I hope that that helps. I think the one thing I could show you super quickly is taking a eyeliner to this eye, would show you what people typically have a tendency to do. Automatically makes the eye seem much darker, deeper, and smaller. This one's gonna stay much brighter. Stay away from the eyeliner, get in the outer edge if you wanna use it at all, or just use a little bit of a brown shadow in that area, curling those lashes up and keeping that lower lid bright so that as your eye moves and you have a chance to open your eye, you're gonna get some brightness and openness to that eye. If you want suggestions on colors, or what colors would be for the rest of your face, please do reach out to me. I'm so happy to help you. If you have any suggestions on videos or you would like to learn something else, please let me know.